Popcorn world. Popcorn world.
Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in the back of a can. You can make it round the world and it holds in your hand. Popcorn world. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Yeah. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. The popcorn world.
Hello, everybody. Yesterday evening at a team dinner, assistant head coach or assistant coach of the Golden State Warriors, Dejan Milovic, had a heart attack, and he was rushed to the hospital, and today he was announced dead. These things are shocking in every possible way, and as a sports world, we are all shocked and in awe of what is taking place. But our thoughts and our prayers today go out to the Warriors family, to the Milovic family, the Warriors family and their team, and in the administration and everything, and just everybody in the basketball world who is touched by this great coach. In his short time in the league, he touched a lot of lives internationally, as well as the Warriors themselves, and he also was a part of leading that team to their 2022 championship. So we send our thoughts and prayers to him and his family and those who have been left behind during this time. Rest in peace, brother. You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, C Major. At power forward, I'll be. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five. I want to apologize. I think I really mispronounced that name. I think it's Milojevic. It's Milojevic is the name. So I apologize to the Warrior contingencies, those Warrior fans like yourself, Chad, who are out there, and appreciate you, man. I know you guys are feeling it a little bit today. That was, you know, it's funny, man. It's not funny, but you know, I saw the story pop up in my news feed earlier, and I saw them cancel the game, and I said, "Oh, something must have happened." And the first thing I thought was heart attack. I did think, I was like, "Oh, something must have happened or something. He must have had a heart attack or something." But I was not aware that he had passed. And so very shocking information, very shocking news. Like I said in the intro, the whole NBA world is reeling. Poor Bob Myers was trying to hold it together on the NBA countdown tonight, and just he did the best he could, you know, under the circumstances. But your thoughts, brother? You got any thoughts before we get going here?
Well, first and foremost, you know, condolences to the family. Definitely, he work with the forwards and the centers. So, the development of, the Kevin Looney's of the world and, the forwards.
Draymond,
And yeah. So he was real, close with those guys. So, man, it's terrible loss, terrible news. When you're actually, the team was together. So that's.
Yeah, they were at the dinner together. So can you imagine? I have not looked at their schedule. I'm gonna take just a quick peek real quick with the schedule. They got Utah tonight. They have Friday. They have Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh man,
seeing that up close and personal, that's definitely, I'm sure, is affecting everybody in different ways. And also, he was close with Nikola Jokic. He was very close with Jokic. Yeah, because
wow,
Serbian team. He was with the Serbian team, so I know it's not just felt on the Warriors' ground. It's felt, like you said,
it's
all over.
Yeah.
So
I would imagine they're probably going to attempt to play on Friday against Dallas, but that's tough, man.
They can play, but your heart may not be in it. So
you got it. Well, but you know what? We say that, bro, but
they can rally them.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna tell you something, man. And I'm not trying to be insensitive when I say this, but I'll just say sometimes things like this are the catalyst to things that become bigger and greater. Like it just becomes a rallying cry. Now you have something to center it all around. Now you have a reason to take the court. So you know what? It's not the way you want to inspire your team, but it just may end up being the thing that, I don't know. I hate to say it, but it may be the thing that inspires them. So, but again, our thoughts and condolences to that team, bro. But this is the 5. We're gonna try to lighten your load tonight and make this a fun show for you. And then hopefully you'll be able to sit back and enjoy it for what it is. That's my guy. I call him my little brother because that's what he is to me. That's my little brother. Chad Major in the building. I'm here, Lloyd Spence, and we're glad to be here with you tonight. We got a jam-packed show for you tonight. And we might as well get started. There's breaking news. The breaking news, in addition to the death of Milosevic, was kind of caught me off guard because I was in the middle of doing some last minute cooking pre-show, and they were like, "Oh, by the way, Pascal Siakam is now a Pacer." And I was like, "Well, I'm just going to have to say that on air because I don't have time to get prep with it." But the breaking news is that Pascal Siakam, we had heard yesterday that trade was a strong possibility that, as Adrian Wojnarowski was reporting, they were engaged in heavy talks where the engagement is off and the wedding is on. Pascal Siakam has been acquired by the Pacers for Bruce Brown, Louisville's very own Jordan Nwora, and three first-round picks going to Toronto. And this is actually a 3-team deal because the New Orleans Pelicans are sending Kira Lewis Jr. and a second-round pick also to the Pacers. It was announced, and the Pacers then shipped Lewis to the Raptors. So Lewis is actually going to the Raptors via the Pacers. So that's a lot. That's a lot. The Bruce Brown thing, I'll be honest with you, bro. That one kind of shocked me because Bruce is a solid player. He's a dude coming off a championship run with the Nuggets. And I don't know. It just seemed like, wow, that kind of came out. And he only signed like a 2-year deal there. So I was a little surprised by that one. I got to be honest with you. I was very surprised by the Bruce Brown part of it as well. Did Buddy get traded? I don't think Buddy got traded.
Nah, he didn't get traded. So they still got a big three, looks like.
Yeah, no, Buddy's still there for now.
Oh, well, yeah.
For now, let me say this. The rumor mill is strong with Buddy Hield. So for now, Buddy Hield is still a Pacer. But we still, we got 2 weeks left before we get to February 8th. 3 weeks left, really, when we get to February 8th. So a lot of time. So just hold more.
Well, Siakam and Miles Turner is not bad. Depending on what they're gonna do with Buddy Hield. I mean, he could stay, he could go, but I mean, even if he stays, that three-headed monster is still pretty good with a good Pacers team.
I'm gonna tell you something. I love this trade for this reason. I think you now have for sure 2 solid pieces that you can build off of in Tyrese Halliburton and Siakam. And you've got 2 solid tradable pieces in Turner and Buddy Hield. So if you're and you got them 3 first-round picks. So you got opportunity to build something substantial and long-term for Indiana. So I think Indiana has placed themselves in a tremendously good spot. Because here's the thing. When you're a small market team like Indiana, you're not getting a lot of players. You're not going to get some of the best. That guys ain't getting on the phone with their agents talking about, dog, you got to give me the Indiana. Now, I will say this. Playing with Tyrese Halliburton is going to become a thing because the kid can flat out ball, and he's a throwback pass first point guard. So I think players are going to want to play with him, Chad. I really do. I think it's just a matter of, the money working out. But if you can keep shedding contract like that, listen, there's some guys that can go make a max contract in Indiana, and that money stretches wide in Indiana.
Yeah, they definitely want to keep him. They definitely cannot let him get away.
No, I think Tyrese is a lock. Well, he's locked in already. I think he's already under contract for a little bit.
Years? For a little bit, okay.
Like 3 or 4 years left. He got like 3 or 4 years left. So he's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to say if you want to have a chance to let him go, somebody is definitely gonna pay him. But since he's there, you definitely want to find the most convenient way to get pieces around him, and that was Pascal Siakam was definitely a big piece. Like you said, depending on what they're gonna do with Heat and Turner, I'm not sure, but I'm probably sure one of them, if not both of them, is gonna go for a nice little return back. But
I agree.
Bruce Brown, he's won them a championship in Denver, but he was expendable at this point. So if you had a chance to let him go and get Siakam, I mean, I'll pull that plug too.
Yeah, I wonder if Bruce is gonna stay. I'm curious to know if they're gonna keep him there, because he's got a contract you could buy out if you wanted to. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that situation.
I'll see. He'd probably get more minutes up there. He probably
for sure. But
so
is he really a foundational piece to something that you're trying to build in Toronto? That's the real question. But
not at all.
Just FYI, everybody, we're a few men down, and I'm still playing injured, but we're gonna keep it going because we just got to keep it going. That's what we do here on the 5. So anyway, all right. So let's get to question 1. This is the one everybody want to talk about anyway. And we do have more breaking news.
Yeah.
Right now that just got released like literally seconds ago. Clutch Points is saying that Dallas has decided to retain embattled coach Mike McCarthy for the 2024 season. So I turn to my diehard Cowboy fan over here, my little brother right here, ask him, what say you? Mike McCarthy will be back for his final year. Adam Schefter is also confirming this, that he will be back for his final year in 2024. What say you, sir?
Well, just when I didn't think I'd get any more bad news, this crept across the ticker. So, I mean, the key word here is final. Final year. Even though I wish it would have been this year, it's just going to be more of the same. More of the same loss of time management, more of the same undisciplinedness, more of the same, just utter.
You don't think Mike is capable of learning from his many mistakes this season?
Did he learn from the mistakes from the prior season? No. And the season before that? No.
Listen, you're talking about a coach that led your team to 12-5, Chad. 12-5. 3 years in a row.
You don't get trophies for a regular season. You get a nice little hat. You get a nice little hat that Dak said he didn't want to wear because he wanted something bigger. He should have put that hat on. But
Greg said all y'all need is a running back, and all y'all problems will go away.
Running backs don't play defense.
Running backs can't stop 48 points.
Running backs can't stop the run. So we need a lot more. We need a lot more.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Chad. I'm a little bit surprised at this news. If I'm being honest, I'm a little bit surprised.
I'm a lot of bit surprised.
But they did the same thing with Jason Garrett. Like, they showed loyalty to Jason Garrett to the very end and made him coach his contract out. And, so I don't know, man. To me, listen, as a Giants fan, I am thrilled that Mike McCarthy is back. I am thrilled because I think y'all gonna be I think y'all gonna take some steps back, especially if what I believe is gonna happen here soon happens, which is that Dan Quinn is probably gonna be out and headed to Seattle. There's a reason why Seattle has not announced who their head coach is. And I think the reason is because they know it's Dan Quinn. And I think Dan Quinn is headed that way. Now, what's going to be interesting is who follows him. Because I think, this is my humble opinion, sir, I think there are some Cowboy players that are going to follow him out there.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just saying they really like.
We're not winning with them.
Huh?
I said at this point we're not winning with them. So I don't know.
Hey man, hold on. Who you think I'm talking about?
I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about. We're not winning with them.
Hold on, but who you think I'm talking about? Because now I'm curious if we talking about the same person.
Like my boy Jerry say, Micah Parsons.
You think I'd be talking about the precious Micah Parsons? You're damn right. Yeah. I'm talking about Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons. Let me pull up Micah.
We're not winning with them, man. So we just need a fire sale. We need to start all the way over, man. But
you're ready to give up on Micah already?
I feel like he's a good player, but they're not. I mean, maybe just a scheme. I don't know, but maybe they need to just play him at his original position and figure out the pass rush situation because it's not working. So, I mean, Jerry needs to just open up his pocketbooks, man. And we need to know if we're going to – if Mike Parsons is going to –
Jerry wants to play Mike.
Yeah, so, I mean, Yeah. So I mean, if that's I'm talking about if Michael leaves for Seattle, if he just wants to play for Dan Quinn. But I mean, it's just at this point we got to figure out something because what we're doing is not working. So if we got to subtract by adding some different pieces, then that's what we got to do. But
So I need to. I wish you had some time here, and we're in the process of restructuring some stuff. So I hope to have a stat person and a person that can do some look up salaries and all that stuff for me. I really would like to know is because Micah this is his. I want to say this is his contract year.
this year,
And I
next
want
year,
to say also that the Cowboys cannot franchise him, if I'm not mistaken. Let's ask Google real quick.
yeah. I mean, Dan Quinn is good, and then he's good and terrible. So I mean, we've seen
Why you
the
call him
different.
terrible?
We've seen the 28-3 in the Super Bowl. We done seen the multiple years in the playoffs, and we're not getting anywhere. The coaches, for some reason, they unprepared in the playoffs and the biggest important moments that to get us to advance. That comes down to coaching, defensive, offensive, all the way around. Special teams, a lot of things is coaching with the Dallas Cowboys. We need to have a coach that we can actually hold his players accountable and also him holding himself accountable for his actions. We don't have that.
Okay. So as I understand it, the Cowboys have the 5th-year option on Michael Parsons if they don't extend him, but they can't I don't think they can franchise him. But he is for sure coming to the end of his of the contract. So he's got like 1 year,
Yeah.
I guess, left.
We also have to pay CD Lamb, right? We got to pay CD.
You gotta pay CD Lamb. You gotta pay CD Lamb. And guess who else you're gonna have to pay? Who's coming into the final year of his contract? Because which is a more pressing issue, by the way. You have one player that's about to make $59 million. If you don't figure out a way to restructure his deal, and in order to restructure him, you'd also have to extend him. And that would be one Dakota Rain Prescott.
I don't see why.
And then you also have Diggs. That's right. You got to do something with Trayvon Diggs. You got a lot. The Cowboys have some real issues.
The thing with this is we really don't want to pay Dak because
shout out to Uncle Benny.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Uncle Benny, you're right. He's a reflection of what we are, what we've been. But even paying Dak is, I mean, you may be forced to pay him because you don't have any other options, really.
But if we're being honest, Chad, the whole team is problematic. And here's what I mean by that.
Of course.
The whole team is good, but not great.
Good and terrible.
That's what the whole team is. That's what Mike McCarthy is. He's good, not great. Dak is good. He's not great. The only one that I would say that's great is CD Lamb. Shout out to CD Lamb, who helped me win my fantasy championship.
Yeah.
Shout out
great gets you championships. So
great does get you championship. So the problem is, do you pay goodness or do you take the risk? Because see, I've been hearing all week long people saying, blow it up. You can't keep doing this. Okay, you can do that. You can blow it up. But let me tell you, as a Giants fan, what happens when you blow it up. You find it ain't as easy to rebuild it after you blow it up. So you can do that. You can start over. but it ain't easy to find the pieces that you want to find once you blow it up. So
I'm not necessarily saying blow it up. I'm just saying take this piece out and take this piece out. I'm not saying blowing up the whole thing. You take some out, add some. Blowing it up.
But where do you go? Like if you who you first of all, the reason why we're here. Let's go back to the original question, because the original question really was what was the wildest game of the wild card weekend? I don't think anybody, and who disappointed you the most and who shocked you the most. I think we can sum up. I was gonna say, I think the reason why we're here with this question is I think we can sum up the question by saying clearly it was the Dallas Cowboys. There was nothing else that was more shocking than the Dallas Cowboys. With honorable mention or a close second going to the Philadelphia Eagles, for sure. Yeah. But you saw the Philadelphia Eagles declining. So that wasn't quite as shocking as what the Cowboys did. The Cowboys was mind-blowing. Because in all honesty, their situation set up perfectly for them to, at minimum, get to the NFC Championship game. Yeah. At minimum. So now let's go back to what we're saying. I'm asking you, little bro, I get what you're saying. Take pieces out here. Okay. But what are the pieces? But because to me, the piece that makes the most sense is the Mike McCarthy piece. That makes the most sense. Yeah. Anything else you do, I don't know why you would do it. Like, I understand what people are saying now, and I heard a great, compelling argument about Dak today. It was really good. And they were saying, listen, man, if you've done this for many years, then that's who you are. And so I'm going to be honest with you, I'm starting to believe that about Dak, that's who he is. Like, there's something, because he played completely differently in that first half. He looked like a totally different dude. And you just like, and I remember you and I were texting, and I even called you. I said, yo, man, why are y'all like this? Like, I don't understand what I'm watching. Because forget the fandom, forget the rivalry of the Giants, and forget all that. As a pure journalist, I'm just going, what the hell am I watching? Like, why are y'all playing like this? This doesn't make any sense. So I don't understand what the Cowboys want to be. And
well,
all
first,
I hear is, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was going to say, all I hear is them saying, well, we want to win a Super Bowl. Okay, well, you got to build something sustainable, continual, and you got to be willing to set a culture of winning in that building. So you got great players. Listen, there's players on that team that everybody in the league would love to have. So you've done that. You've got something, you've got some continuity in that you have a great defense and you have a great offensive line and you have a quarterback that is pretty good. So you've done 2 out of the 3 things you need. So the GM, Jerry Jones, has done well getting the players in the building. The owner, Jerry Jones, has done well by paying these guys and keeping them in the building so that you can have some continuity. So who's failing is President Jerry Jones, because there's no culture in the building and no defining winning culture. I knew they were in trouble when they just started beating up on bad teams, and they call that winning. That's not winning. Listen, any athlete that's played sports at all will tell you us beating up on a team that we're supposed to beat up is not. It's a win, but it ain't like something that you just get excited about. And it's not a measurement as to where you are. We were supposed to beat them. They're bad. But you got to get to a place where you understand you find out who you are when you find that teams that are comparable to how good you are. And to those teams, they did not measure up this year.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I agree with you, but even when we played the bad teams, we still got beat. So we played bad teams and still lost. So I think, like you said, the culture in the building is not what it needs to be. And don't you agree that starts with the coaching?
I think it
He
starts with
sets the
ownership. I think it starts with ownership.
You can't do
But
nothing about that.
well, you could. I mean, I don't know. Y'all in a tough spot, man.
Only thing you can do about Jerry Jones is Mother Nature. I mean, that's the only thing. He's not going to relinquish his he's not going to relinquish his spot. So
Mother Nature.
You have to wait it out.
You implying that you have to wait till something happens to him?
I mean, the man's 80 years old. He's not going to change his. He's not going to change anything about himself. So that's out the question. So if the owner GM president is not going to do anything, you go to the coaching. At least you could change something within coaching wise. He didn't, and that had time and time again has not had his players prepared to play. Dan Quinn, couple years he's been in the head coaching buzz. At that time, he hasn't had his players ready to play. Distractions.
They were not ready. They were not ready at all.
Too many distractions.
All right. Well, listen. According to Adam Schefter, they made a decision. Dan Quinn will be returning. So,
more the same. More the same.
All right. That was, and by the way, great games. This is a great wild card weekend. Shout out to the Lions for getting an incredible victory against the Rams. Shout out to the Texans for holding court at home. We got some really good games coming up to this week, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But again, nothing more shocking than the Dallas Cowboys as we head to question number 2. And we kind of already answered this already. Should Dallas and Philly fire their coaches? So let's go to the Philly side. The stuff I'm hearing coming out of Philly, bro, I don't, man. To me, Philly and Dallas have the same problem. It's leadership. It's ownership. Their ownership is just not very stable. And I don't know how you fire a dude that just took you to the Super Bowl 11 months ago. Like, that's a weird thing to me. But if you listen to everything that's coming out of that building, and by the way, you just created a massive hole, a massive problem for yourself in the retirement of Jason Kelce. Now, technically, it's not official yet.
Yeah.
But if Jason Kelce stands true to his word about retirement, that is let me tell you something, Chad. That is a massive, massive, massive problem. One, I am grateful for as a Giants fan. But
me too.
But I'm telling you, that is because I don't think people understand the center position in football. I know we always talk about the quarterback, yeah. But the center position in football is equally as critical as the quarterback because he is the glue that holds all of the line together. And if you do not have an intelligent and capable and locked in center, your offensive line is going to be trash. Yeah. And I'm telling you, Jason Kelce is a first ballot Hall of Famer for those of us that understand the game. He is brilliant as an offensive lineman. He is the reason why Jalen Hurts got his money. He is the reason why Jalen Hurts is the player that he is. Losing Jason Kelce is a massive problem. And I bring Jason Kelce up because if you listen to some of the things he's saying it was overwhelming to him this year. There were a lot of issues. There were a lot of problems. And it was overwhelming to him. It was hard for him, he said, to get ready for every game. So they got some real problems up there.
Yeah, The center position, like you said, is very important. But the thing with Jason Kelsey is consistency. I don't think he. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he missed maybe more than 5 games.
I will not correct you because I don't think you're wrong. Yeah, Jason Kelsey was the anchor. He was the glue, man. He was the super glue that held that thing together. And
do you think that Jalen Hurts is going to regress because of that?
I don't see how he can't. I don't see how he can't a little bit because I think the chemistry between a quarterback and a center takes time. And I don't think you can patch that together with just anything or anybody. So yes, I think I am grateful that and listen, and by the way, one of the most solid technique guys you've ever seen in your life. Just does not make mistakes, doesn't give up sacks, he's just a solid dude. So is Jalen Hurts gonna regress? Yes. I don't think he has a choice but to regress. Now, Greg asked the question, he said, do you think the Lions have a chance for the Super Bowl? Greg, stick with us because I got an answer for that here in just a minute. But I'm gonna answer this one first. Should Philly fire the coach? I think you do the same thing that Jerry's gonna do for Mike McCarthy. You don't fire him, but you definitely wheel a hot seat down to his office and say, "This is where you're gonna sit for the rest of the season, next year." But that's a tough one, man. Uncle Ben, I'm gonna read this whole thing. It says Cowboys' biggest problem is that they aren't as good as media makes them out to be. True. Dallas has a suspect running game, a weak receiving core, with CD being an exception, and defense needs to be bigger at linebacker to address the weak run defense, and the secondary is mediocre at best. In other words, Jerry needs to spend some money to fix this team or be content to be a second-tier team. Cowboy needs to forget the past because it's no longer America's team. Let me tell you something. It sounds like Cowboys need to hire you because that is an astute assessment of that team. Everything he said I think is correct. I think everything he said is correct. Tony Pollard is not the same back without being. We didn't realize Tony Pollard was basically hiding behind Ezekiel Elliott. I didn't realize. I thought if he had the spotlight, he would shine. He not only didn't shine, but he regressed. Found out, you really aren't that guy. So yes, they need a running game. They need linebackers. So the GM Jerry didn't do. He's done some good things, but not all good things. And it's just he needs football people to do the job. But listen. Let me just say this, and then I'm gonna leave the Dallas thing alone. It's been almost 30 years, y'all. 28 years. If something has been going wrong for 28 years, and you've changed quarterbacks, and you've changed running backs, and you've changed coordinators, and you've changed head coaches, and you've changed everything that you could possibly change, well, what's the one thing you haven't changed?
But the thing is, Lloyd,
you got the same GM, the same president. So if you just want to keep doing that, you can. But and by the way, Uncle Benny, you might be right. Saquon might be available. If we
go ahead. I'm sorry.
It won't matter. No, go ahead, bro.
No, I was saying the thing is, I think Jerry Jones is saying stuff publicly as far as I want to win the Super Bowl. I want to win because he's winning already. The Cowboys are number 1 in Forbes. Their marketing
number 1 franchise in the world.
Exactly. Their marketing is out the wazoo. They play in every Thanksgiving. They on commercials. All these endorsements. He's winning already. He's just not winning the Cowboys are doing just enough on the football field for those.
Can I help your fan base real quick? Just real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look directly at the camera when I say this. Matter of fact, let me just do it this way because I feel like I need to help you. You guys are in a very toxic relationship. This is bad. This is the equivalent of a man promising you that he's going to marry you one day, only to get to the wedding day and not only not marry you, but not even acknowledge you as a human being. It's bad. He keeps promising you that he's going to do better. He keeps promising you that tomorrow is the day, and it's never going to happen. Here's what I would suggest you do as a fan. Get out while you can. You don't have to do this to yourself. You can have a better life. You can have a more peaceful life. You don't have to go through this torture. Okay.
The only thing that's probably going to save the Cowboys at this point is to do like Mark Cuban did with the Mavericks.
Sell it off.
Sell it off.
All right. Well, let's keep going in this direction because we're talking about coaches, and we're gonna play a little game called My Coach Will Be. And so I think we can take this one off the list. Yours is gonna be Mike McCarthy. They've already announced that.
Let's put it to 2025. let's play to 2025.
I'll let you say 2025, but you don't know it's gonna be in 2025. Probably still be Mike McCarthy.
Not if they don't get far in the playoffs.
Philly.
Same.
I think it's gonna be Sirianni. I don't think they're gonna fire him. Atlanta.
I heard Bill Belichick wants a project, but he got pieces around. He's got the Kyle Pitts.
I think it's gonna be Bill. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Bill, and I think Bill. I honestly think if he can get a quarterback, I think that'd be all right. But he needs a veteran though. He absolutely needs a veteran. I think this is Antonio Pierce's. I think I don't know why they haven't closed the deal yet. But they need to go on and give it to Antonio Pierce and stop messing around.
I agree.
Yeah. Here's an interesting Washington.
Man, you gotta give it to Bieniemy, man. Stop playing, man.
That's what I think too. I don't understand why you're not just giving it to Eric Bieniemy. Like he's right there.
He's already there.
Right there in the building.
Yeah.
Now, I can see maybe in a wild card circumstance, maybe Vrabel. Yeah, I can see maybe that. But to me, it's Bieniemy. Why not give it to Bieniemy and let him pick his quarterback and let him implement the stuff that he wants to do? And I think you'll get the results you're looking for. I think this is Dan Quinn. I think Dan Quinn is going to be the next coach of Seattle. I think that's why they haven't announced it yet. They're just trying to get everything lined up or whatever. The Chargers, I'm going to go ahead and give that to your boy.
I think he definitely going to take that position because he doesn't want to go back to Michigan and face all them sanctions and what have yous and whatnot. So,
he's going to leave to take all that. It's going to be your boy Sharon.
I mean, I would love for him.
Why the black man got to take all the criminal charges?
He got to clean it up. Yeah, but
why the black man got to come in and clean up his mess?
Don't we always?
Yeah,
don't we always?
Boy, you said a mouthful just there, boy. You said a mouthful just there. And then finally, Tennessee. I'll tell you who I'd like to see get it. I'd like to see Raheem Morris get it. But I don't know.
He's in Tampa Bay right now, right?
Yeah, he's in Tampa Bay. Yeah. I'd like to see Raheem Morris get it, but I don't know. Two interesting running backs, by the way. I know we don't have that segment, but since we're here, Saquon and Derrick Henry could be in new uniforms next year. Now, I tend to believe Saquon's probably going to end up getting this deal. It ain't going to be what he wants, but it's going to be what he needs. But Derrick's going to end up somewhere else.
Funny you should say that. Because you know where Derrick Henry lays his head?
I know where you want him to lay his head.
No. Do you know where he actually lives?
He lives by you, don't he?
In Dallas, Texas.
He lives by you, don't he?
Why would you want to go anywhere else? No state tax. You already live here. You ain't got to move nothing.
Listen,
we need a running back.
From a financial and a functional perspective, it makes perfect sense. And then you can re-unlock Tony Pollard again. Although Tony may not stay.
If you do exactly, we can get a running back.
Right, Tony may not stay.
Yeah. We can get a running back in the draft.
Yeah, Tony may not stay. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that. It's gonna be very interesting to see what they do that. But I think both those guys are gonna be in. What happens to them in the offseason is gonna be rich. All right, we had to sneak in a 3.5 question because we weren't here last week when Alabama decided to hire the coach from Washington. And I just asked the question, did all of college football just change forever? And the reason why I asked that question is because while we've been sitting here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a report coming out of Alabama where they said, and I quote, the tide will be the same, is what they're trying to say. They're saying we're not going to change much. We're going to be the same. The culture of the tide is going to be the same. To that, I would say,
yeah.
Is it? Just because y'all gave Nick an office downstairs to be a consultant, is he like Du Bois Bishop and he gonna fuss at him and tell him he's doing it wrong? I'm gonna tell you something, man. The SEC, right, he was with the Rams. Okay. He's with the Rams. Okay. Thank you, Uncle Benny. The SEC is I think the SEC is about to take a step back as a conference. Losing Saban is a massive deal because you lost the grandfather and the reasoning as to why the justifiable reason as to why you get to be in the college football playoffs every year. The mighty SEC. I think Alabama's going to take several steps back. Georgia will be fine, but Alabama's going to take some steps back. Now, the saving grace is that Texas is coming, and Texas is going to be damn good.
Yeah, they took some of Alabama's transfers already.
Well, everybody's taking Alabama's. So, by the way, Jalen Milroy, for those who didn't know, in the transfer portal as we speak. The former starting quarterback of Alabama last year is in the transfer portal.
Yeah, why was he Isaiah Bond? He's transferring to Texas.
Oh, he's already announced he's going to Texas?
Yes. And then some of their signees already decommitted.
So Pastor Court asked a question. He said, did Nick Saban retire because Texas was coming and he didn't want it? I think, and it's interesting that you asked that question because oh my God, I forgot his name. I just drew a blank. USC running back. Stripped him of his Heisman.
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush alluded to not necessarily that Texas was coming, but that the college football landscape had changed so dramatically that Nick was struggling to keep up. To that, I say, I kind of agree.
Struggling as far as recruiting, or just in general, just paying the players?
Not necessarily recruiting, because I still think Nick can get a decent 5-star when he wants it. But the problem is he can't get every 5-star like he used to. See, Nick used to win the college football championship long before the season started because he'd had the number one recruiting class. He got 15 5-stars and 20 4-stars and some 4-stars that should have been 5-stars. And so he could roll all of that out there. And by week 4, they look like the doggone 2000 Ravens out there. You know what I'm saying? On defense and the doggone greatest show on turf on offense. So it's easy when you don't have when you didn't have the NIL to worry about, and it was just the reputation of going into the NFL. But now NIL has changed everything. Transfer portal has changed everything. And now you can't, now the playing field is far more level than it has been before. And now I tend to believe Nick was probably struggling, man, to get these guys to come in there and buy into the system. I'm not saying he forgot how to coach. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I got to get you in the building first. And I don't have to come to your building and I can make the NIL money. And guess what? I can also still find a path to the NFL wherever I am. Marvin Harrison didn't go to Alabama, and Marvin Harrison is going to be a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Top 10 pick at best. So you don't have to go to Alabama or put up gaudy numbers. You can still make your $1 million in college and still make it to the pros. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Right.
the landscape has dramatically changed.
Yeah, the pipeline. See, he thought he was a pipeline. Now everybody's got a pipeline.
Everybody got the pipeline now. They've built multiple pipelines right now. You don't have to. And just like Greg said, just like Ron said, you don't have to go to the SEC now. Ironically, you guys make sure you tune in tomorrow morning for Believe in the ACC, because the ACC it's crazy right now, because Florida State filed that lawsuit and now ACC is filing a counter. So I'll get into all of that tomorrow. But that's where we are. We're trying to figure out, conferences are trying to figure out who they are, who they want to be, how they can maximize their positioning to making their conference look like the way it's supposed to look and function the way it's supposed to function, to draw these big name recruits in and to maximize these TV deals and make sure our kids, because the NIL deal is going to be affected by the TV deal. If you can't make no money off the TV deal, you really can't pay nobody anyway, right? So it's a weird little mix, man. But
I got a question. For you.
Go ahead, bro.
So the Pac-2 now should Florida State join the Pac-2 to make a Pac-3 and figure it out?
No, because number one, because just logistically it would be a nightmare. So that's number one. But number two, they don't really have no TV. They don't have a TV deal in place. So they don't, like you said, it's just 2 teams. So they got to go build the whole thing over again and try to make it work. So what's probably going to happen is the Pac-2 is going to have to blend in with somebody like the Mountain West or somebody like that and try to make something like that work and bring the Mountain West under the Pac-12 or something. They'll have to try to blend it all together. So it's a tricky circumstance. I don't know how they're going to pull that off. But one thing is for certain, college football is going to look dramatically different. And I think the 12 teams that make the playoffs, it's going to be interesting how that unfolds. The Big Ten is the winner in all of this, by the way. They are the winner in all this, because now the Michigan-Ohio State game won't matter. If they both get to that game undefeated, they'll both get into the playoffs every year. It'll be stuff like that. So it's interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds going forward. So, all right, let's get to question 4. We're going to play another little game called They Will or They Won't. And if they will, then where? And this is all centered around NBA trades. January 15th unlocked basically the ability to trade whoever you want to trade for whatever you want to trade them for, if whatever deal you can get done. So nobody now is off the table. Everybody's eligible for trade or whatever. And so we already opened up with Pascal Siakam. He's already been traded. He's gone to Indiana. But there are several other names that are being floated out there heavily. and I'm going to ask my little brother here and you, our listeners, our watchers of the show, the Five Nation, where do you think these guys are going to go?
I sure didn't want Siakam though.
Well, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Like that, it would have been nice, but I still think y'all might do something. But DeJounte Murray is a name that is very heavily being floated out there. The Knicks are of high interest. I'm hearing, well, the Lakers for sure are, as Adrian Wojnarowski has said, engaged in constant conversation with the Hawks on this one. And interesting, this one is kind of coupled with Clint Capella as well. But Clint Capella is available. The Hawks are trying to kind of dump salary and dump get under the cap or whatever. But where do you think those guys are going to
go? DeJounte Murray. I think with all the talk, I think it's destined for him to go to the Lakers. With all the talk, it's just too much buzz about him going to the Lakers for him not to go to the Lakers.
Do you think that DeJounte Murray is worth giving up Austin Reeves? Because I don't know if you get that done. I don't know if you get that deal done without Austin Reeves. Is it worth giving up Austin Reeves?
Austin Reeves has been great for you guys. He's definitely been great. But I think DeJounte Murray has something that Austin Reeves doesn't have. I think he has killer instinct. I think you need that on a Lakers team with LeBron and AD because they could rub off on AD. So I think putting them three together would make you guys darn near unstoppable on the offensive end and on the defensive end because DeJounte Murray does actively play defense. So
great.
I think you that's something that you can't pass up.
To me, that makes the most sense of any trades that I've heard. Though I did hear some stuff coming on the air tonight that was like, I don't know. But there's going to be some activity heading into the trade line. Let's go to another name that's being thrown out there a lot. And your team actually is the one that's being bountied about for this one, Zach LaVine. But let me ask you this question as I bring up Zach LaVine. And, of course, the names that for trade purposes that are being thrown in is more – I'm hearing more Jonathan Kuminga, Clay, and Andrew Wiggins than I am Draymond. I don't hear a lot of Draymond. I hear a little bit of that, but the Draymond part to me doesn't make as much sense as the Clay does, just simply because of what Clay's kind of been through. And I hate to say it that way because I respect the hell out of Clay, Tom, but it's just a tough situation. But let me ask you this question because I didn't think about this until today. Obviously, I didn't think about it today because it just happened. But how much of an impact is the death of the coach going to have on the trade process? Could that stifle the whole thing, maybe?
If we some happen to, like you said before, band together and turn it around, they may think that they don't need to make a trade. I do think they still need to make a trade for a big, like a Clint Capella, and you can, give away, some Moody and, some other piece. Because we have guards. We got Gary Payton. We got the Chris Paul when he gets back. We have guards that we can kind of trade. So I think if you have a big that you can get that's not going to be too much as far as giving away, I think you would have to do that. But I definitely think they're going to band together at some point because those three, Clay, Draymond, and Steph, they feed off of energy and emotion. So I think this could be definitely good. Even though a sad situation, I think this could be good for them going forward.
Yeah. I think you might be right. I think there's a possibility that now nobody gets traded there, and they just try to figure it out, just to rally around. And listen, it's the same thing that happened with us in 2020, man, when Kobe died. You know, Kobe died. That was all we needed. That was all the motivation. I honestly felt like, and I hate to say this because it sounds kind of morbid, but I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to make a comparable. But when Kobe passed, I kind of felt like the championship was inevitable at that point because we knew what we were playing for, and I just felt like there was no way those guys were not going to fight with everything that was within them to make that championship happen for him. Now we didn't know the world was going to fall apart in the midst of all that, but I just felt like, but even that worked to the advantage because we went into the bubble with more motivation than anybody. So everybody else was just trying to survive the bubble. We were trying to win for Kobe. So I think there's something to what you just said, bro, that they have a rallying cry now that they didn't have before. So let me go through a few more names. DeMar DeRozan, you think he gets one year left on the contract? If you're Chicago,
he needs to leave. He needs to leave. Him or Zach LaVine needs to leave, or both. But I'm struggling to figure out where he would go.
I am too. I am very much struggling. And here's the other part of that statement you just made. Currently, the Bulls are in the 9th spot. So do you keep fighting to make the playoffs? Or do you just be like, listen, man, we've had a good run. Let's just try to get some good draft picks and let's start over and figure this thing out.
I mean, the Bulls have been in disarray for a couple of years. Lonzo, you don't know what's going on with him. He's been out for 2 years.
Right.
And they thought this big three was gonna work, and kind of doesn't work because Lonzo's not there, so you don't have anybody to facilitate the ball.
I think if you'd have stayed healthy, it would have worked, but it just
if it would have stayed healthy, yeah. But since you don't have anybody to facilitate the ball, I think you need to see what you can get for DeMar. He's still pretty consistent player, and you can get some nice little pieces for him, and just put him somewhere. But I just don't know where that would be.
Okay. What about this one, Dorian Finney-Smith? A sneaky good pickup for somebody.
I'll trade in for Jonathan Kuminga right now.
Really?
Right now.
Wow. Why would you say that?
Just he's been pretty consistent his whole career.
You're talking about Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah. He played both sides of the court. He can still give you that 3 and D. I think more consistently than Jonathan Kuminga right now. Jonathan Kuminga can do it, but it's not necessarily consistent.
He's not. He don't love defense.
Yeah. So
he's very. But again, let's go back to what we just said. This might be the thing that rallies the whole team. I don't know. We'll see. They may come out against Dallas on Friday and play some of the most inspired. I would imagine they're going to play Friday's game in one of the most inspired ways you've ever seen a Warrior team play. Like I could see Steph and Clay and everybody just going all the way off. So I don't know. Gordon Hayward, that interests you?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to trade it. I think they're going to try, but I don't see the value.
He's been hurt, and then I forgot he was in the league.
Exactly. Ben Simmons been injured, but
Saints insert i.e.
playing better right now, but
yeah. But I think he's past being a commodity at this point.
Okay. Tim Hardaway Jr.
See, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Because
Tim Hardaway Jr.
I got a jersey for him. And wouldn't it be cool for him to go back?
Everybody can't go to your squad.
I'm not picking everybody. I'm just saying I got a jersey for him because he could spread the floor. He's going to get open shots. And wouldn't it be cool for him to go to the team his dad played for? I mean,
that would be cool. That would be kind of cool.
Same jersey number. He can put the same jersey number on and everything.
Everybody can't go to your squad, all right?
Nah, he'll get the open shots for sure, though.
We'll do a couple more. Buddy Hield.
After this trade,
I don't think they're going to do anything. I think because Tyrese is hurt, they're going to probably just hold fort until he gets better. I do not expect PJ Tucker. Here's what I think is going to happen with PJ Tucker. I think PJ Tucker is for sure going to get traded somewhere. But I think wherever he gets traded, they're going to buy him out, and then he's going to get a chance to choose where he wants to go from there.
And who would that be?
That's the X factor. I don't know. That's a good question. He might end up, I was going to say, he might just end up going down the hall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Okay, that's it. There's some other names like D'Angelo Russell and Kyle Lowry.
You hope D'Angelo Russell's in a different uniform.
Well, D'Angelo and D'Angelo and Austin Reeves are contingent upon what the Lakers can go get for them. So I don't have to really mention them. The Malcolm Brogdon does interest me a little bit because I'm curious to see Portland is clearly not working there. And that could be interesting to see where he ends up. And then Kyle Kuzma is interesting to me. I'm curious to see what they decide to do with Kyle Kuzma.
He just want to get away from Jordan Poole.
Everybody wants to get away from Jordan Poole. All right, we're going to close out with our five picks for the NFL divisional round playoffs, even though there's only 4 games. So let's go through it. How did we do last week, by the way? I probably didn't do well.
Oh, we were both.
Did well.
We were both 4 and 6.
I was gonna say we probably. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad. The Cowboys let us down.
Did they?
And Philly probably let us down. We probably lost Philly and the Cowboys, didn't we?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully this week is better.
This week will be better. We got the Texans at Baltimore Ravens. And by the way, these times are Central times because we are doing our show from the Central time zone. So add an hour to wherever you are if you're in the East Coast. 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central. The opening game is the Texans and the Ravens. There's a reason why this is the opening game. Is because while I appreciate everything D'Amico Ryans and CJ Stroud has done to open the season, and really they have really put on a performance for the ages. But here's what I'm gonna tell you right now: no Tank Dell, no Noah Brown, no Jesse Matthews, a questionable Robert Woods, a questionable John Michie. The only starting receiver that's played is Nico Collins. Sorry.
Where'd he go to college?
Where did he go? I don't know.
The University of Michigan.
Really? You gonna do the Cam thing right now?
We got him in the league.
They're in the league, baby. I just think they were able to overcome all that stuff against the team they played last week. They will not be able to overcome that against the Ravens. The Ravens defense is just, and then Zay Flowers is back. Mark Andrews is potentially back.
Wow.
I just think this is gonna be too much. And by the way, you still got to stop Lamar. I just think it's gonna be too much. I just think it's gonna be way too much.
Yeah,
so,
you can't have the coach of the year and the offensive rookie of the year and the Super Bowl. You can't have all
right. Yeah, something got to give. So I'm going Baltimore on that one.
Same.
All right. The late game is Green Bay and San Francisco. A week ago, I would have said Green Bay wouldn't even be here. And if they did get here, this would be a blowout. But now, after watching Green Bay for a week, no. And Aaron Jones, man, Aaron Jones seems motivated. So I don't know. I'm gonna say San Francisco, but I'd be lying if I said I was confident.
See, the thing is, San Francisco got more dogs than we had.
They do. They got actual dogs.
Jordan Love ain't gonna be doing all the way he was doing to us, man.
I can't imagine that Jordan Love will be able to overcome Fred Warner and Nick Bosa and
Randy Gregory,
Chase Young. I just think at some point it just becomes a massacre, and I think San Francisco wins.
And that's on one side of the ball. We got to go to the other side.
Right. Then Green Bay got to try to figure out who do we stop out here. Like, I just think it's going to be too much. Just a lot. There's a lot. So, okay. Tampa Bay and Detroit. This is very interesting. A lot of trash talking going on already. The DBs for Detroit are talking about if they had a better quarterback, Tampa Bay would be something special.
Oh, man.
And Baker Mayfield said, well, if y'all were watching tape, you'd see. Because they were calling out, Detroit was calling out receivers that hadn't even played all year. The DB for Detroit. And he was like, well, we ain't even played him all year, so you clearly ain't watching film. So, having said all that, Detroit's a very different monster than Philly. Philly play like trash. And they don't have a defensive identity or want to. That building in Detroit, first of all, Detroit never thought they were going to get 2 playoff games. They never thought they would get 2 playoff games. Shout out to God and karma, working hand in hand. Well, maybe not, but for sure God was involved because Detroit got robbed by Dallas, and then the Lord was like, "No, I can't let that slide."
We would have played them again if
the Lord was like, "I can't let that slide." Yeah. Give me Detroit at home. Give me Detroit at home. So I got 3. So far, I got 3 home games. Home teams winning. You with that? Or you going?
Well, it depends on who's doing the coin toss. The coin toss got something to do with it. But do I trust Baker Mayfield? Is the question. Do I trust him one more time? Do I trust him one more time?
I can't do it.
I don't.
I can't do it. Possibly the comeback player of the year. Possibly. But I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah. And then the last game, Sunday night, Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo. The first home game, a road game, playoff game for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Josh Allen at the crib. The weather is not supposed to be like it was this past weekend. Not that matters. It's supposed to be cold, just not snowing cold. But not that matters. The Chiefs played their own. The Chiefs just played in negative 24. They ain't tripping.
Neither one of these teams tripping.
It might be like playing in Miami to them. They like, this is beautiful. This weather's amazing. Yeah. Who you got, Chad? Who you got?
This is a hard one.
This is a hard one.
Because am I going to get the Buffalo that in the Josh Allen I saw last week? Ooh. Or am I going to get the inconsistent Josh Allen we've seen through the regular season?
And you know what my answer to that is? Yes. I think you're going to get both. I think you're going to get the turnover Josh Allen, and I think you're going to get the Josh that makes some plays in that game that you go, wow, only Josh Allen can do that. Now, the question is that enough? Is that enough?
The thing boils down to me is Buffalo's wide receiving core over Kansas City's wide receiving core. I think that may be the thing that
Who do you trust more?
yeah, exactly. I trust
Boy,
Buffalo.
Rice is balling. He's starting to ball now.
Yeah, so Rice and Diggs cancel each other out.
Okay. Kelsey and
Knox
or Kincaid.
Yeah, Kincaid. They might cancel each other out. It's gonna be, but I think I'll trust Gabe Davis and them boys more. I think I trust Gabe Davis and them boys more at this point. So
it's hard for me. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's hard for me to bet against Patrick Mahomes. And I just don't believe that all 4 home teams are gonna win. So if I have to pick one where I think a road team is going to win, I got to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going with Buffalo. I'm going with Buffalo. See what Josh Allen. I might be on here eating buffalo wings again.
So one of us is going 3-1.
Yeah, one of us
potentially, or 4-0. One of us is potentially going 4-0. One of us is going.
I picked Buffalo before the season to go to the Super Bowl against Dallas, so I think I need to at least I still got one horse in the race, so got to at least see that through.
Okay, I think I picked the Ravens, right? I picked the Ravens and somebody.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Cowboys. I think it was the Ravens 49ers. I can't remember.
Probably. Yeah. That sound like the smart.
Yeah, I think I stayed on the course of the Ravens 49ers. I was not, although our guy Cam picked the Cowboys. He jumped off that cliff, which, by the way, it didn't halfway through the season. It didn't look like a bad pick, but now So anyway,
terrible.
Well, there it is. The 5, ladies and gentlemen. We have gotten through our show tonight, and it's been another fun show. We're still. First of all, we want to send out love and light and prayers to everybody out there who's going through this crazy snow, ice, everything that's going on right now. The weather's been crazy. We're going through it right now in Arkansas. I know they're going through it in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and all on the East Coast and everywhere. So just everybody, please stay safe. Protect your loved ones, protect your home, protect your family in all of this madness that is going on right now. And then once again, we also send our love and light and condolences and prayers and thoughts over to the Warriors organization. Just an unbelievable set of circumstances that is going on with them tonight. But God is a healer. And so this is what he does best, is bring us through the darkest of dark situations. And so this is no different. So with that being said, do you have any other shout outs, my guy?
No, you said it perfectly, man. Just shouting out the people that's watching, the people that rewatch, and just the guys, Cam and Reggie in their absence, man.
Shout out to the bros, yeah.
Shout them out, and you said it perfectly, man. RIP to the coach, man.
Yeah. Do I want? I'm trying to think if I have any shout outs. I really don't have any other shout outs, man.
Oh, I do have a shout out, actually. I do got one.
Okay, what is
it? Yours. Shout out to the Fab Five coming back to Mercy. All together for the first time in a long time.
So cool, man.
Shout out to them boys, man.
Shout out to awesome. And even more specifically Jalen and Chris for putting all that aside finally and just really making that happen, man. That was one of the coolest pictures of the weekend for sure. Just to see those two, man, back together again, the Fab Five back together again. That's just a cool thing, man. So tomorrow, man, we got the again a lot to talk about on Believe in the ACC. You don't want to miss that, man. It's going to be an interesting show, to say the least. We're basically talking about the state of college football, man, and boy, we got a lot to share with you guys about the musical chairs, about some of the behind the scenes. Oh, I knew I was going to shout out. I was going to shout out Detroit Pistons basketball team for catching some fire and getting another win, baby. Shout out to Detroit basketball. 4 wins now. 4.
Wow.
The turnaround is in motion. The turnaround is in motion.
We could probably get a 10-day on that squad.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. They need that. They need all the help. They need all the help they can get over there right now. So shout out to them. Okay, I think that was it. It feels like I knew it was. Shout out to the Emmys for being probably in my lifetime the dopest Emmys I've ever seen. First of all, big old gigantic shout out to Anthony Anderson for hosting and killing it. Oh man, he killed it. Put that show together, man. Brought back Martin, brought back Cheers, brought back some legends in the game. But then shout out to the Emmys, man, for rewarding some people for doing an amazing job of acting this year. One of my favorite shows they won a ton of awards. The Bear. If you've not seen The Bear, bro, you gotta check that show out. Fantastic show. It is one of the best shows on TV by far. It's different. I've never seen any show like it. And you know me, I watch a lot of stuff. I studied this industry very well. One of the best shows I've ever seen. The Bear is amazing. So shout out to Ayo, who won her first award as supporting actress. Shout out to Quinta Bronson, who became one of the first Black women to win in the lead actress in a comedy for Abbott Elementary. That was so dope, man.
Nice,
and then
nice.
then shout out to Niecy Nash, who won for the Dahmer film that she was a part of. Who else? It was somebody else that won. That was with Ali Wong, won for another show I love, Beef. That was dope. Beef dominated too. Beef was, if you haven't seen Beef on Netflix, you're missing out as well. Another great show. So just, man, the Emmys was so dope. I know I'm forgetting somebody, and I apologize, but it was just a dope night. Like Anthony Anderson said, how cool is it to see that much blackness on MLK Day? So that was cool. That was just a cool thing. So shout out to them, and then shout out to the Color Purple. I finally got a chance to see it. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
It was interesting.
I'm scared.
Good. I was scared too. It's good. It's very good. I will endorse it. It's a very good movie. Don't let the whole musical thing throw you off. It doesn't take away from it. It actually enhances it. And they made some smart choices with the film. Very, very smart choices. And it's comparable. It's as good as the first one. It's definitely as good as the first one. So I think it's something you will enjoy. So check out The Color Purple. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. The 5, baby. I believe in the ACC in the morning. We appreciate y'all, man. Again, love and light to the Warriors organization. Y'all have a good one, man. Peace.
Get you 10 when you're plugging in with the there's no mystery. Let's make history with the 5. Oh, the strongest. 2 and 3. Add 1 more plus me and do the 5.